we rolling?
There you go.
Yeah.
Cooking.
Are you rolling?
Oh, we're
Roland. Okay, Roland.
Boss. I'm not
It's
rolling,
my-
I'm boss.
I'm Paul, and this is my co-host, Roland.
Talking Chit, just talking. Talking Chit, what are they doing? You never really know, but I'm into it there. Talking Chit.
All right. Well, welcome to episode 2 of Talking Chit. We got the wonderful Tiago in the house from Valhalla Amps.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming. We've been checking out some gear for the last 2 days, really. We've been
Really?
checking out the Yoden series of amplifiers, and really just having a great time, you know.
Yep.
Just
And the
getting-
pedals.
And the pedals, yeah.
We did some segment.
We've been playing around. We've been having dinner, having great conversations.
Yeah.
And we figured it would be time to sit you down on the couch and hear about your story, too.
Talk some
My
shit.
story.
Oh,
Yeah, we're-
absolutely.
That's right.
Absolutely.
That's right. This is your show.
Yeah.
You're both fired.
We're both fired.
No. Well, but what would be a good way to start? Like,
How about I think your background is really fascinating. The years you spent in LA, the years you spent at Guitar Center in the vintage room, etc., and all the connections you seem to have with everybody related to anything guitar or guitar amp, etc. So yeah, just I know you came here from Brazil. But so start there.
Yeah. Well, I was born and raised in Brazil, in a city called Lagoa da Prata, which is a small town. And I moved to Los Angeles when I was 22 years old. Yeah, 22 years old. And I moved there to stay a year, maybe 2, just to do music production and recording school, and moved back to Brazil.
What school?
I went to a Musicians Institute,
Okay.
and I stayed there for a year in school, and then I was supposed to get a working permit right after that. So I stayed a little bit longer, got a working permit. I worked since immigration at the time was really busy. That was in 1999, late 99, early 2000.
Mm-hmm.
Since immigration was really busy at the time, it took a long time for them to give me my working permit. So I spent about 7, maybe 8 months just waiting.
Here, you were able to stay away.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
That was
They didn't send you back. Yeah.
No, I waited there, and when they finally sent me the working permit, I got a job at the former Coconut Teaser on Sunset Boulevard doing live sound.
Okay.
So I worked there for a little bit.
So was that like your first gig out of school? Doing live sound?
Yeah.
Right on. Did they teach you live sound at school?
They did. It was very brief.
Yeah.
The live sound
Schools are like
classes.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was good. The guy who used to teach live sound there, his name was Brett, and I don't remember his last name, but he was like a super, super nice guy. One of the nicest people I ever met in my life, and very talented also. They used to do live sound for the school, for every event there. He was the one doing the live sound.
Where was the school located?
It was in Hollywood, California.
Is it still there in Hollywood?
It's still there, same place.
Okay.
It's on. That was so long ago. I think it's Macadam Place, the name of the street. It's
I got no idea.
if sure.
Oh yeah, I remember that place.
Back in the day. You know.
Yeah,
You know.
it's pretty much like 2 blocks from the Men's Chinese.
Okay.
Hollywood.
Yeah, I know that area. Yeah.
Yeah. So you walk east on Sunset, one block, and then you walk south on McCabe Place, and you're right there.
So was it a good experience going to school there?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, in terms of recording, you don't learn that much on that short period of time.
Sure.
But I knew how to do a little bit from Brazil because I was recording the bands that I played with in Brazil at the time. And I was recording other people in Brazil also, but all like very underground stuff. I will probably remember the only equipment I had to record bands in Brazil were those I think it's a Fostax.
Fostex.
Yeah, 4-track.
The 4-track cassette.
Cassette tape, yeah.
Yeah, I had the Tascam version. I had the Porta Studio 2, which gave me 6 channels into my 4 tracks.
Yeah.
I have the front end for one of the interns here.
We were looking at it.
I have like the mixer for the old Fostex like tape machines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it a 16 channel or an 8?
8 channel.
An 8 channel.
And all like RCA outs too. It's like bizarre.
There you go.
Total piece of crap.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We had fun with that.
That's how, Tree Sound started on a 4-track cassette.
Oh, there you go.
Just saying. So,
yeah. And so spending that time at Musicians Institute was really quick. It was really, really quick.
Help you make some connections with people.
I made a lot of great friends there.
Yeah.
And I also, one thing that not many people take in consideration is that during the 90s was, especially like late 90s, was when bands finally started coming to Brazil more often. American bands, British bands, rock bands in general. And for me, who was in Brazil listening to rock music ever since I was a kid, I started listening to rock music when I was 7 years old.
Right.
And so for me to be in Hollywood and at the school that I was at, be able to sit down and watch Blue Saraceno play a concert there. Bruce Kulick.
Wow. Yeah.
He was playing there with his band at the time, and I grew up listening to Kiss. So for me to be sitting down at my school, at the school that I was going to, and watching free Bruce Kulick concert, it was the best thing in the world.
Right.
So, yeah, I really enjoyed the time I was at school. Made a lot of great friends there.
Yeah.
That I'm still in touch with them. And because I was in Hollywood and very close to Guitar Center, I used to go there all the time. And one thing led to the other. That's how I was able to get the job there.
Yeah. I think that's one of those things for me early on in getting into music. I spent an unusual amount of time in Guitar Centers or any music store, any store that sold amps or guitars or gears. Like I was like the guy who would show up. I'm sure they were looking at me going, at first they probably thought I was there to rob them or something because like I wouldn't leave. But then I would buy stuff and then I'd come back the next day and I'd come back. And eventually they're like, okay, he's not here to rob us. He's just a freak. To hang out near this stuff.
Here's the gear whore.
Yeah.
That's right.
Gear horse.
Naughty ho.
Music stores. There was this music store on Gardner, which is like on the corner of a Guitar Center. There were a lot of music stores there. But that was probably at some point the place that had the most music store in the world.
Wow,
like
I believe
that stretch of Sunset Boulevard. But when I got there in the late 90s, a lot of them were closing their doors already. There was Johnny's Guitar on the corner that closed down like right after I moved to Los Angeles. Black Market Music shut down their doors not long after. But that was this particular music store on Gardner that was called Future Music, owned by Jack Watson, one of the nicest people I ever met in my whole life in business. And great dude. awesome drummer. And so, of course, what does a gear whore does when he has like a lunchtime
Yeah.
Guitar Center? We had to take minimum, by law, 30 minutes lunch break.
Go to another music store.
Yeah.
I would go out, eat, like literally shove food in my mouth, and for 10 minutes I would like have my meal and spend 20 minutes talking to Jack at the church music, and then I would go back to Guitar Center and finish the
Such a disease we have.
It is.
For real.
But hey, I met so many great people at True Music. Because Jack's is best, so everybody wanted to stop by there and say hello to him. And so that's where I met Jason Sirocco, who later on ended up working at the vintage department also. Gosh, I met so...
Is that how you got your job at Guitar Center?
Yeah. My job at Guitar Center I got because I was going there all the time, and I used to buy vintage amps on the street, clean them up, make sure that they sounded good, that they were looking good. Because late 90s and early 2000s, nobody cared about Plexi amps. I mean,
Right.
I could buy those in Los Angeles for $800, $900 at the time. But at the vintage department, they care about those, and they had the proper clientele. So I would find those amps. I would find sometimes old AC30s, bring them to a tech. The tech would make sure that they were working properly. So I would clean them up and make sure that they look good and look presentable,
Right.
and bring them to the store
And sell them to
yeah. So at some point, I just asked them, "Hey, can I get a job here?"
Yeah.
And they said, "Well, maybe." And I asked them that for probably a couple of months until one day, Mike Catherine, who was the run manager
Right.
at the time, he said, "Well, I'll come back tomorrow. I might have something for you." So the next day, he introduced me to the guitar department's manager, and guitar department manager hired me so I could learn the Guitar Center system, how to work the computer there and how everything worked.
Right.
And then once I knew all that, it would have transferred me to vintage. So
you went to vintage right away as soon as you learned the kind of the ropes, and then they were like, "You're going right to the vintage department."
Yes.
Because you were the guy bringing in the vintage amps, so they probably already figured he knows more than most of the guys.
knowledge,
He's already got that.
And at the time, the Guitar Center had an insane collection of vintage amps at the time, because there were still a lot of amps from the Aspen Pitman Group 2's collection that they bought. And also there was the rock, a large part of the Rock Bottom collection. There was like a huge music store in England. So Guitar Center had bought a lot of those Marshalls and those amps that they had there. So they hired me with the intention of, well, at least that's what I think. Oh, this guy like amps and he take good care of amps. And,
Right.
And he knows how to work with them. So let's hire him and get him to sell all those amps.
And did the Guitar Center, did they market it as a vintage showroom?
The vintage room.
Yeah,
It's called the vintage room. Yeah.
The room was called the Hollywood Vintage,
Okay.
which was part of Guitar Center, but it was its own department.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they were ahead of the curve.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And buying stuff in bulk because they had money. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember there were times that Drew and Dave would go to vintage guitar shows and come back with 170 vintage guitars. That's crazy. Yeah. From one guitar show.
Yeah.
And that was during the vintage boom, during the mid-2000s. And those guitars would be gone
Instantly.
like
Oh, I'm sure, dude. Yeah, it's crazy. It's hard to wrap your head around having a bank account that big,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? Where you can
Yeah.
just go to a vintage show, and most of us are thinking, man, if I could save up to buy one of those one day,
Yeah. Can you imagine? And their
go
problems
buy
are,
a couple hundred of them.
their problems are like, how do we ship them?
Right? How
We're
do we
thinking
ship
about
them?
like the
Oh, no,
logistic issues.
No, it was literally pallets.
Yeah.
Did you have to unpack those? Did you get to unpack those?
Yeah. When they would get to the store, what we would do is we'd get the pallets, right? I would
From
go
like
there.
England or wherever.
What?
Did you say they
No,
bought a
no,
bunch
no,
of stuff from?
vintage guitar shows here in the U.S.
Oh, from here in the U.S.
Yeah.
No, I was thinking about all the vintage amps and
Oh,
stuff.
no, the ones from England, they probably just brought like a containers.
Right. Yeah, but yeah, they'd come back from a guitar show and it'd
Yeah,
be
but-
pallets.
The vintage guitar shows, we would get the pallets that would be shipped from the city where the vintage guitar show was. Let's say if it was the Atlanta vintage guitar show, right? They would buy the stuff here, bring to the nearest guitar center. They would pack it, put them all on a pallet,
And truck it.
wrap it around, put it in a truck, and the truck would deliver the pallet there for us. So once we would get in there, we would unpack everything, check out, make sure that all the gear that was bought was there. And once that was okayed, we would bring them to the department and start going through one by one. of
Testing
those
them, yeah.
guitars. Testing them, verifying, taking it apart to make sure that the parts were all original, and write down everything, document everything with pictures, and then bring down to the room to be sold.
Wow, it's a process.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
And I don't think I will ever in my lifetime, and to be honest with you, I don't think anyone will ever again see as many guitars as we at that department sing during the mid 2000s,
Wow.
because it was like hundreds of vintage guitars every 15 days.
Wow. That's
Vintage
amazing.
guitar shows, usually they happen every
Amazing.
2 weeks.
Wow.
You know? And
It's hard. It's almost, I mean, I hate to say it, but, it kind of makes me feel a little bit not great about one big entity swallowing up all these, probably thousands of vintage guitars that would otherwise be in circulation for the regular people.
yeah, but that's the whole thing. They were not in circulation for the regular people, and Guitar Center would get them and bring
And they sold them online too, I'm sure.
Oh no! At the time, we did have a website, but it wasn't that
Right.
great, But the main thing was Guitar Center was finding, and I'm not saying Guitar Center, it's
Yeah.
it's the solution for everything.
No, of
What?
course not.
At the time, we had so many clients that were both collectors and musicians, like Aaron Malakian, as an
Sure.
example. He would never play a vintage guitar. He had some vintage Goyas that he used to collect, but let's say a Gibson SG, he didn't have any. He didn't have like Fender
Right.
from the 50s, like the very high-end guitars. And from the moment that I sold him a 1961 SG and two Watkins Dominator combos, he started using those. He started touring with that, not with the amp,
Yeah.
the guitar.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, he started using.
Yeah, I want some.
SGs.
Yeah.
So it's like it's not that Guitar Center would take those guitars out of the market.
No, I know. You're trying to put them in the market. Obviously, you're trying to sell them.
Exactly. So and the other great thing.
No, I'm just thinking that perspective was, dude, scouring pawn shops for deals, and now you guys are getting all the potential deals out there.
we were going to pawn shop to look for.
Oh, I
deals.
know, but you were getting nice shit. But
Yeah, and all of them we would either get them from vintage guitar shows where they were already really expensive.
Right. Right.
So
Because they already knew what they had,
Yeah.
obviously.
Oh yeah, yeah, and or collections. We used to buy back collections that we sold. So let's say the Joe someone bought one guitar from us in 98, and then in 99 he bought a second guitar. In 2000 he made more money. He bought a third guitar. And all of a sudden in 2003 he had 5 vintage guitars. Right.
And you guys know because you got they bought them through you. So you're like,
So
this dude's holding 5 stashes right there.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
the guy that had 5 guitars that were worth like from 30 to 50,000 each, all of a sudden he's like, yeah, I want to buy a Burst, a $250,000 guitar. So could he buy that
Trade.
cash? No, he could, because he would never be able to save that much money right at once. So he would use those guitars that he had,
Right. Trade them back to the
back.
Guitar Center. Yeah, sure.
one very expensive one. That's how I did.
Right.
And the other good thing about Guitar Center was you could buy vintage pieces using the Guitar Center credit card. So let's say you have, and I sold many vintage guitars like that, because that was a particular year, the year where they had the first what's the name of the Eric Clapton festival, guitar festival?
Crossroads, yeah.
Vintage Stratocasters were always expensive and always sought after. So there's the first Crossroads Festival. And since it was the very first one and Clapton was there and Clapton used Strat, guess what guitar that every band used? Stratocasters.
Right.
So in between the day that concert happened to the end of that year, Stratocasters doubled.
Wow. The vintage ones are just all Stratocasters, just the vintage. Yeah. Yeah.
They literally doubled.
And what was vintage considered at the time? Like
Oh no,
what year?
The vintage, real vintage. It's, let's say, as far as Fender goes,
Yeah.
50s and 60s.
Yeah.
And if you're a little bit more picky, pre-CBS, which is 50
50s.
to 64.
Yeah.
And because in 65 CBS took over, although the guitars are still the same thing in 65, they start having bigger changes in 66. It's still already CBS,
Yeah.
but anyway, so people who bought a vintage Stratocaster and put on the Guitar Center credit card
Right.
with 36 months,
No interest payments. Hey, what are we doing right
double
now?
their money that year.
Yeah.
And vintage guitars that were going
Yeah.
10-20% a year during that
Anyway, yeah. Oh, during that time.
During
Okay.
that time.
Okay.
So
So they had a big jump. They doubled and then they just kept going up. Or
no, they had a big jump and then they settled down for a little bit
right.
and then they kept going up again
Right.
after that. But so during the whole 2000s, you would buy, let's say, a Telecaster or a Strat or a 50s or 60s Gibson, or a Tweed Fender amp, and you put on your credit card, no interest, and take your 32, 36 months, 24 months
Right.
to pay it off.
Make your payments. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how the many people that couldn't afford a vintage guitar bought, myself.
Wow.
That's how I bought all my gear for my studio.
Yeah.
Using credit card like that.
Yeah. I used my Guitar Center credit card quite a bit over time. I had, of course, we had one of those accounts where we just, you just call, say, hey, I'm coming. I need this. You got it?
Yeah.
AC Pro.
Yeah. And those were great. I mean, we've used those for years. We don't so much now. I don't know what went down with that. I think Sweetwater kind of started eclipsing them on pricing is what happened for me, and availability.
Yeah.
The Guitar Center is great. It's right down the street. I could run there and grab something. Yeah. But, if I need a CL1B or if I need something that's not going to be in the Guitar Center.
Yeah.
And then I'd call and be like, I need to get one. And like, well, okay, we'll get you on the list or whatever. And I hate to say it, but if I'd call Sweetwater, they'd push me to the top of the list.
Yeah, they really.
So I got service from them that I just think Guitar Center wasn't at that point. Just before COVID, Sweetwater was growing and growing. COVID pushed it over the top.
Yeah.
Because of the mail order.
Exactly.
But it was great to be able to say, hey, nobody else can get one of these, but I just got a call. I can get one. So sometimes it would be like, yeah, I'll take it. I want one. I need it. Other times it'd be like, hold on. I know a guy, and I'd call somebody and say, I know you've been looking for one of these. I got one for you. Let me hook you together. Yeah. And I wasn't like making a commission on it or anything like that. It was just more like being able to have access to the good shit.
They have two just great customer service. Oh, they were always on top of it.
Right.
And then you started having companies like Vintage King more even specializing in the product.
Oh, yeah. Well, Vintage King has always been more specialized in vintage, hence the name. Yeah. And, stuff like vintage Neves and APIs and all vintage, the badass vintage stuff. And they're still the king.
High-end stuff. Too.
Right. Yeah, very high-end stuff. Yeah. And while Sweetwater does have access to some of that, Vintage King, I think, still rules that domain, because they have exactly. So they called me the other day. They were like, they got one of the old EMI Red consoles. Anybody who's interested? I know a guy, but I called him and guess what he said? Already got one. It's like, but yeah, so yeah, it's no.
So after LA and GC, you moved back to Brazil, right?
I did.
Yeah.
It was in 2011. I moved back to Brazil to finally start doing studio full time.
Yeah.
So I moved to a small town near the capital. It's like on the greater capital area, the capital of my state, to be more precise, which is called Belo Horizonte. And so I moved to this small town near it. Rented a house and opened a studio there, and I've learned probably more on the first few months there, first couple of years probably, because until then I would do a lot of like wiring cabinets, wiring guitars,
sure,
but never whole studio. And when I set up my studio in Brazil, I could either do it all myself or hire someone that would literally like charge me an arm
expensive.
And a leg there.
And we talked about it the other day and talking and check this shit out.
Yeah.
Just like if you're going to build a studio, you might want to have.
You might want to learn how to solder.
Yeah. Because that's here.
You might want to get pretty damn good at it.
There, it's 5 times more expensive.
Why? Why is that?
Well, first off, there's not
as many people do it.
Not many people doing it. So if you need someone to do it, they will literally tell you, either you pay that or I won't do that. Just the acoustic part of like 2 small rooms, tiny rooms, very small rooms. And that was in 2012, January of 2012. I got some quotes from a guy there that was doing acoustic treatment,
Yep.
and his acoustic phones were very raw. They looked bad. They didn't look good. But I thought, oh, yeah, he's a local guy. Let's check with him. Just to put foam. He wasn't going to do like a kind of like room checkup. to
Like
see
build
how
a trap,
free
measure the
was.
room, and
Yeah.
figure out that
He
no,
was just going to put like
some foam on the fucking wall.
foam on the walls just to deaden the sound.
Yeah,
That's it.
Yeah.
In 2 tiny rooms.
yeah.
It was about 44,000 highs. 44,000 highs at the time was about 20,000 American dollars.
That's insane.
It's crazy.
It's insane.
Like,
know
and
what I
straight
did?
foam, not even like fiberglass?
No,
or
no.
Not even building traps or
Yeah.
measuring or
Just
nothing.
crazy.
Nothing.
You know what I did? I flew to Los Angeles. I bought packs of Orlex. I paid the excess luggage to Brazil.
To bring the Orlex
Yeah.
boxes of foam.
Guess how much it cost?
I don't know, $5,000.
Less than $3,000. Because the Orlex I bought at GC. You know?
And you got the employee discount?
No, I don't. They weren't giving me employee discount anymore.
You
But they
quit.
still took care of me. They still gave me a good
A
deal.
good deal, yeah.
But yeah,
Crazy.
that's the difference.
So you open your own studio in Brazil,
And
how long did that last?
it lasted for 6 years.
Wow, it's a
5
good run.
years,
It's a good run.
Yeah. My heart, it's in rock music.
Right.
You know, and there's not many rock bands in Brazil. I mean, there are quite a few bands there.
There's some legendary ones too. Like, is it Soulfly from Brazil?
Well, no, Sepultura.
Sepultura. Sorry, yeah, that's right.
Sepultura. Yeah.
Sepultura, it's from the capital of my city.
Yeah.
They're from Belo Horizonte,
Okay.
my city.
Yeah.
You know, but anyway, so I was there for this time and trying to record mostly rock bands, and rock music don't pay off in Brazil.
Mm.
You have to be a huge artist.
Well, yeah, it pays really well around here.
Yeah, it's we're made out of money over here.
Now imagine in Brazil being like even worse.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, no, not making money there.
Well, and another thing too in Brazil, because with my company too, is like trying to export to a lot of countries in South America. There's like an insane amount of taxes for
Tariff.
any
Yeah.
gear.
Yep.
Yeah, and isn't Brazil like
Well,
almost 100%?
Well, put it this way. I had my Chandler Zener and
Right.
my Chandler Curve Bender being used in a
Those are great.
ministering session that I was doing for a band there, right? And my Chandler Curve Bender was one of the very first ones.
Those are sweet.
Yeah, they sound great. They sound amazing. And in the middle of a session, a one of the inductors went off. So I messaged Wade, and Wade as being Wade.
From Chandler.
Yeah, he just said, "Dude, don't worry, I'll overnight you one tomorrow." You know, and I'm like,
A whole new unit, a whole unit, or just the part? Just the part.
The part.
Yeah, yeah.
And I said, yeah, sure, no problem. So he overnights it to me, right? So I emailed him back. How much was that? And he's like, dude, don't worry, that's on me. In there, because your part broke. My apologies. That's Chandler customer service.
Yeah.
They're the best.
Their stuff is amazing.
Yeah, and
This Germanian stuff they make.
They just redid
great.
the EMI console.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, that's right.
They
That's
got
right.
it at NAMM.
Yeah, I remember.
Sick with
It is
with
sick.
The faders, the flying faders.
Oh, dude.
And
Yeah, don't get me started on that. Anyway,
So Wade sends me the inductor, and the inductor would cost what here in the US? Probably $5, $10, if that, plus shipping. Right now, he overnighted it there, and he put on the customs that the part cost zero because it was a warranty part
Yeah.
that he was replacing, right?
Sure.
So I get the part there, and next day they don't deliver it. Another day, no delivery. So I called the
Custom.
post office there.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh yeah, no, we got your part, but we cannot deliver until we calculate customs." I'm like, "There's nothing there. It's zero. That cost me $0. That's a replacement warranty part." And so 5 days after, we
God.
spent $200 to send
A part, a free part.
Yeah.
to overnight it to me, so I could have it there in time to finish the session with.
Which took another 5 days.
So customs in Brazil held it back for 5 days. And when they delivered it to me, they literally had the package on their hands saying, it's $200. So that in reais, it was like almost $500.
Holy
I don't
crap.
know.
part.
Yeah, I'm like,
Profile or
are
part.
you guys fucking insane? And they're like, yeah, no, we had to charge you custom. I'm like, that's free.
Well, the lesson there is next time you
They-
get something shipped there, make the price $2.
Now, dude,
Pay customs on the $2. Pay your
No.
tax.
They would have charged
it
you
was
anyways.
zero. It was zero.
Yeah, but that's what freaked them out. They couldn't calculate a
No,
tax on zero.
No, you know what happened? They calculate, they will charge you customs on top of the shipping.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a tariff.
So,
They gotta calculate it.
They saw shipping $100.
Oh,
Yeah.
so
Shipping $200. Yeah, 100% on top of 200.
of $200. Oh, there you go.
That happened to me.
So they charge you the tariff on the shipping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so because of that, and because the session was delayed already 5 days, the band just decided, yeah, no, just get that, we'll pay for it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how customs are in Brazil.
And it's
Sucks.
I had the same issue in Argentina where we learned our lesson too, but we did a worldwide giveaway of one of our guitars. Yeah, all you had to do was like follow us on Instagram and Facebook, blah, blah. Well, someone in Argentina wins. Right?
Oh boy.
And we're trying to figure this out. But it was great because she communicated with us and we were able to figure out something, and we kind of like figured out a loophole to do it. But yeah, if we send the guitar as a gift and we paid for everything, Argentina would look on the website how much this guitar is worth, and sure thing, 100% tariff on it.
Wow.
1,111, even if it's a gift,
Yeah.
and tariff on the shipping too.
Wow. How is
Yeah.
that? How does that even make? I guess they don't want shit from anywhere else there. Is that kind of how it is?
They charge because they can. It's a government. It's, if the government wants to, if they figure out that they can make money literally skinning you alive and selling your skin,
And that's what
they
they'll
will.
do. They'll do it. Yeah. As long as it grows back so they can skin you again.
Yep.
Well, let me ask you, because I know from friends in Argentina that have studios and stuff like that, what they do is they would always travel to Chile and buy the gear there. And then like they would go on tour. So then
Oh, okay.
Go on tour, buy some gear.
logistically, yeah,
Right.
they would fill up with gear in Chile because they didn't have to pay the same amount of import duties and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, did Brazil do that? Like you would guys go to another country and buy it, or
Well, back in the day, like during the 80s and 90s, Paraguay was how do you call it, important fees exempt. So you
Right.
could buy in Paraguay like Jack Daniels
Right.
or a TV or stereo system for the same price that they were sold here in the US.
Yeah.
And so people from Brazil would go to Paraguay, buy stuff there, and bring back to Brazil to avoid paying like the insane fees.
Right.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, we would buy electronics on the Panama Canal in the Canal Zone. Fly to Panama, and I think one of the first things I got was like a boom box in the early days of boom boxes, and I could get one for like a lot less than it cost in the U.S., but I had to fly home with it.
Yeah.
And you'd go into the Canal Zone, and there was all these duty-free stores, I guess they called them.
Yeah.
So you could get whatever,
like now.
perfume, liquor, electronics, whatever. And then you'd, go back to your hotel. And when you flew home, you were just like, oh, yeah, I brought that with me.
Now, one cool thing is because of the lack of imported musical instruments in Brazil, during the 60s, there were bands building instruments, their own stuff. Like the guys from Os Mutantes, which is probably the biggest rock band Brazil ever had. I don't remember if he was drummer or bass player, but one of the members of the band, he used to build their instrument. He used to build their amplifiers.
But did they ever start a company building them?
No,
they just made their own shit.
Yeah.
Well, they would just build the stuff for them. Like at some point in Brazil, it was so hard to get stuff there that there's one Os Mutantes song that they need. It was very few instruments and vocals, and a very slow song. So they needed just a hi-hat, like at some point, pretty much just like setting the rhythm.
Right. Like a click.
Yeah, but it's very spaced apart. It was just like it would just hit like at the end of the phrase, let's say, right? Guess what they used? Remember those old, I don't know how you call it here, but those old pump, kind of like pump that they use to spray poison for flies. Those.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
They used one of those close to a microphone.
There you
That
go.
was the hi-hat. So
That's amazing.
Bug poison sprayer, yeah. Pesticide sprayer.
Yeah.
So necessity creates what would you say?
Yeah.
Creates like
Invention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
mother of invention.
Yeah. Sometimes limit your
Laziness is what I say. It's the mother of invention. That and necessity.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what drove you back here?
Well, in late 2017, I decided to move back to the U.S. because I have U.S. citizenship. So I thought, you know what? That's where my heart is, and I want to give it a try again.
You came back to L.A.
I moved back to Los Angeles December 2017. I was there to September 2018. September 2018, I moved to Florida because I couldn't see myself reopening this studio in Los Angeles.
Prices had probably gone way up in the time you were gone.
Yeah.
Right.
Everything was so expensive. And the music business shifted a lot in Los Angeles. By 2018, it was the rock music market wasn't there anymore, the way it was before.
Right.
So I went to Florida, which ended up being like the biggest mistake of my life.
Where in Florida?
Orlando.
Oh, yeah.
I love the place, love the locals. But
Disney, happiest place on earth.
Oh, yeah.
That's what they say.
yeah. No, it was, I made a lot of great friends there. And
Did you work in studios there?
no, it was a guy that told me, another Brazilian guy that told me, "Hey, you have some great gear for the studio. How about you moving here and bringing your gear?" So
I could use it for free.
yeah, and that's what ended up being.
Hard to believe.
Of course, it
Yeah.
was the idea was, well, you bring your gear and your know-how, and I'll get the studio, and we'll make money together. So I got there. He didn't have studio. He didn't have anything. He didn't have contacts. It was just
Yeah. Mistake number one. Gonna make money as a studio.
So as soon as I figured out that the guy was just like a scammer, I was like, no, I'm out.
Yeah.
So I got all my gear and moved to Nashville. And matter of fact, I went to Nashville just to check out the place. And I fell in love with Nashville and went back to Orlando, picked up all the gear and was in Nashville. I had a studio in Berry Hill on one of the House of Blues studios.
Nice. Yeah.
I was-
Right in the heart of where all the studios there. Yeah.
Yeah. And what a great community.
Right.
I'd say that's like the studio capital of the world right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
And the people there are just amazing. Amazing.
Mhm.
It's incredible. All the restaurants and all the bars,
Yeah.
they're there like it seems like you step in Berry Hill and you're breathing music.
Yeah.
So it's a magical.
Yeah. It's been like that for a minute now.
So
So that was kind of lucky to land in Berry Hill.
it was I was in Nashville for a month and a half only, and my buddy Brian McCurry
Hmm.
from LA, who's now living in Nashville too, he called me one day and said, "Hey, there's this studio here for rent in Berry Hill." I'm like, "It's probably going to be too expensive." And he's like, "No, it seems to be reasonable." And the best part, it's in one of the House of Blues studios. So I thought, okay, so even if it's expensive, it might work.
You're right, because you're in
You might get a better
location.
return because
Sure.
of the location. So I was there for a little over a year, and then the pandemic.
And you brought all the equipment, or was it
No, I brought all the
right? So it was just the room, the space.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And what did you bring?
Well, the centerpiece of the studio was a 160832 channel,
Okay. Yeah.
one of the new ones,
Hmm.
and I had some good amount of outboard gear and some really cool pieces also. Like that was the CBS compressors that I told you about. I was a pair of.
Thanks for reminding me. Mine's still in Muscle Shoals, and we started down that path. Let's not go down the rabbit hole, but remind me after this. That's some other talking shit.
Yeah.
I got to get mine back.
And had that. I had a couple of Silverface 1176. Had 3 reissue 1176 that were modded by Brian McCurry. That sounded really, really good. Had a couple of old Neve mic pre's. Had some of the Avitas built Neve mic pre's. He built a couple of those on the side back in the day, and I was able to get them. And it was a fairly well equipped studio.
Small room, you said,
Small room, but fairly well equipped studio. And so I was there for and of course the guitars and drums. The drum kit was a great sounding drum kit that I had there, a 67 Ludwig, and not too many vintage mics or high end mics, because I always, for some reason, I always loved ribbon mics.
Right.
So
That's why you had all those Royers, obviously. Yeah.
I had pretty much like the entire Royer line. I had 3 matching 4038s, and that I loved too. And I had a couple of RCA mics, and I did have like a good sounding U87. Had a couple of Mojave MA 200. That was the first two Mojave mics that they just sound great on overheads. You know, if I was recording anything more modern that needed more punch and more
Right.
brilliance, those mics they did the work unbelievably well.
Yeah.
And I like those on acoustic guitars too. But everything else, I was using the ribbon mics, and I just
Yeah.
Yeah, they
for some reason they just,
Yeah, you were talking about miking a drum kit with all ribbons.
Yeah.
Must be super.
oh, I've done like so many sessions where it was almost everything ribbon mics, you know, acoustic guitars,
Right.
vocals, backing vocals. Well, one of my favorite ways of recording backing vocals was, especially if there were like two people singing at the same time or more,
Right.
I would put them side by side and set up the stereo Royer mic in the middle of them, but blend them both to a single channel in mono. So you would almost get a omni effect from a ribbon mic.
Oh.
And
Right, because they have the figure 8 patterns.
Yeah.
yeah, so
So it can make sense if you got two of them.
you was getting like almost a
Mhm.
omni.
Yeah.
So that worked really good for backing vocals when you have like more than one person singing at the same time. And I just love ribbon mics.
So so you were there 4 years?
In Barrio?
Yeah.
No, I was
Yeah.
there for just a year.
Oh, I don't know why I thought 4 years.
No, I got there in 2019, and then the pandemic hit.
Oh, that's right. That's where we were. My bad. We got sidetracked
Yeah.
at the pandemic.
With beautiful ribbon mics.
That's right.
Yeah.
Sidetracked with microphones.
Yeah.
And I remember a really, really scary day of my life was, well, first 9/11.
Right. Sure.
I was in LA, and that was horrible. And walking to work, because I didn't have a car in Los Angeles at the time, at 9:30 a.m. and not seeing one person, not anything moving on Sunset Boulevard.
Crazy.
I mean, I was
End of the
crossing-
world shit.
Yeah.
I was crossing Sunset Boulevard, walking on La Brea,
There's no cars.
north, south, east, west, nothing.
Wow.
The only thing I could hear that morning was like TVs on.
Yeah.
For some reason, every place that I passed
Was
by,
watching TV.
people were watching the news.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah, people
That-
couldn't stop watching it, really.
Yeah.
that was scary because I didn't know what was going on. I didn't have a TV at the time.
You was
and I
thinking,
was by myself.
Zombie apocalypse.
zombie
The zombie apocalypse. The aliens have taken over. Everyone's watching the TV.
I swear to God, I walked to work, and when I got to work, my boss, because at the time I was working on La Brea, La Brea in Santa Monica Boulevard. So I got to the store there, and I knocked on at the door, and
No one's there.
the owner opened the door. And he opened the door and asked me, "What the fuck are you doing here?" I'm like, "What the fuck is going on?" And then he pulled me inside of the store, and he had one of those tiny TVs. Remember those?
Yeah.
white
With an
tiny
antenna.
With the
Yeah.
antennas.
TVs? And in his office, right? And he's showing me that, and I'm like, "Oh, that can't be real." And he's like, "Yeah, it is."
It's AI.
And he's like, "No, it is. And if I was you, go back home right now. And if we need you at work tomorrow, we'll
Right.
call you.
Holy crap.
Just go home and
Go home and
and
do whatever you do.
Yeah. And I remember walking from Santa Monica Boulevard to Lanewood. That's one street past, parallel past Sunset. I never walked that fast in my whole life. And because there was nobody on the street. Nobody, literally. It was just people watching the news. And sometimes you would hear like firefighters just like crossing the sky.
Crazy.
And I'm like, I don't know. You know, I'm just scared. Just gonna run back home. And I was back home in a minute. You know?
And then there's a pandemic.
Yeah.
But the other time that I got really scared was in Nashville, because we were in a session at the studio on a Monday, and it was late. It was probably like about 11 p.m., late midnight, and it was a weird weather, a really weird weather. But we didn't know that it was being that bad. And all of a sudden, the lights just start flickering on the street. And I told everybody, I said, hey, guys, let's take a quick break here, because are we having a storm outside? You know, let's take a quick break here and see what's going on. And because we might need to stop the session, you know, because I didn't have a power generator.
Right.
So
And you don't want your gear to get trashed too.
yeah. So as soon as I said that, the lights just went down, and then they went up again. They went on again. So we go outside really quick, and that's when that tornado was.
Yeah,
hitting
East
down.
Nashville. Yeah, I remember that. I was there.
Yeah.
I was there the following day. I brought my solar generator to this church at the top of the hill in East Nashville.
Yeah. So that was like a very, very scary night, because Berry Hill, it's like really close to downtown.
Of course.
So we were there and we were watching everything unfold.
Crazy.
So that was really scary.
Yeah.
And 2 weeks later, the pandemic hit. So when the pandemic hit, I was like, you know what? All I wanted to do was to play guitar. So I decided to shut down the studio and sell everything.
Yeah.
I was just hoping that you still had all those mics so I could get them. I was like dreaming about it. Man, what did you do with all those Royers?
So you basically sold most of your studio stuff, and
Yes.
Yeah.
I kept some of the vintage air, the rarest and the hardest to find amps and guitars.
Mhm.
And I kept the pedal collection
Right.
also. And that was it.
yeah.
Everything else I sold because I no longer have a studio.
Yeah.
I think it's housekeeping. They're about to kick us out.
Oh,
I
snap.
thought we had a late checkout.
Yeah.
Who is it? Housekeeping.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Side stuff now.
Yes, okay.
But the wife and daughter just called the phone, so you just told them to reach out.
They're blowing me up.
Oh, snap.
Thanks, bro. I was like, all right, y'all. Give me a minute. Yeah.
Well, I think this is a great segue to kind of wrap up a little bit the podcast. But how is it that now you get to know the Valhalla guys? And
My landlord got to hear the amps at NAMM. And
So it would have been 2 years ago then, right?
no, actually,
Or
it
3?
was like a year ago at the Joshua Tree Desert. My landlord went there.
Oh,
during
okay.
NAMM, and he heard the amps and he loved it. So he comes back from NAMM, and first thing he tells me, dude, you got to check out those amps. And I'm like, okay, yeah.
it's like, I got Dumble, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
So I thought, I'll check them out sometime. And he's like, no, seriously, dude, you got to check them out. And I'm like, yeah. Whenever I see one, I'll listen to that.
Yeah.
And about maybe a month and a half later, he tells me, hey, my buddy Rick, who makes those amps that I told you about, is gonna be in town tomorrow. So is that okay if I bring him here so he can show you some amps? And I'm like, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So when they get in town, they go to my landlord's house, and my landlord brings him to my apartment, and we sit down, and they're talking about amps, and it's something very, they're a very relaxed mood,
Yeah.
you know, kind of like we're talking here right now.
I kind of think I know how that started.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very relaxed.
And so we're talking, and we're talking like a bunch of things, like guitars and Brazil and music. And why we're doing that was
Sounds like he's trying to steal our idea,
Yeah.
talking chit.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then all of a sudden we plugged the amp, and the first chord I was like, whoa, what's going on there? And then we shift the focus from whatever we were talking before to the amps for the first time, because I finally heard them.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow.
And which one did they bring?
It was a Ragnar 20 watt,
Okay.
which is one of the custom.
That's the handmade point to
Yeah.
point. Yeah.
Hand wired.
Yep.
And a Jotun 20, just like
Okay.
this one, which is the stage
just-
and studio series.
Right.
And I just freaked out, you know, and I kept telling Rick after, yeah, those amps are great. Those amps are incredible. Those amps are this and that. And then he told me, well, how about if I show you one amp that I think it's really good? It's a 50 watt version of the Jotun.
Right.
And would you like to try it out and let me know if you like it or not? And I said, yeah, sure. So he brought the red 50 watt Jotun
Right.
to my place, and it was dawn dead. You know, I listened to the amp and I was like, holy shit, this thing, it's really, really incredible. And at that point, I started asking them, hey, how do I get one? How do I buy one?
Mhm.
And they didn't have any made. Those
Right.
amps
Those were the
all
prototypes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they kept telling me, hey, that one, don't worry, whenever we get in ready, we'll let you know. And one day Rick asked me, hey, would you like to maybe join the company? You know, because I think we would really like having you with us. And I'm like, yeah, let me think about it.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know the company yet. I knew the amp. I knew that the product was
Mhm.
amazing. I knew that the owner was great.
Yeah.
And
I
then,
didn't know
and then
the
he
rest.
gave him the crack. He's like, here, just hold on to some of these.
Yeah.
See what you think.
Yeah. Try just a little bit, you know.
This first one's
Yeah.
free.
Yeah. But then I got to meet the whole crew. And, you know, the guy that is responsible for the website.
Yeah.
I got to meet Keith, who's the builder. You know, I got to meet Rachel, who's Rick's wife, and she does a lot of the promo stuff, she designs a lot of stuff, also a lot of the logos. And I was like, yeah. Brian, at the time, who was the artist for Valhalla, you know, an artist relation guy. And I was like, yeah, that's a great team. I would love to try it out. And all of a sudden, I was part of the company.
Yeah.
Proudly part of the company.
Yeah.
And yeah, they some of the best amps that I ever heard.
Yeah.
And I've been to a couple of concerts where Valhalla provided the backline for, and I couldn't believe how they sounded on stage.
It's amazing. It's something else when you see a whole stage of those amps.
5 Valhalla amps on stage, rock music, loud stuff, lots of distortion, and you could pinpoint each single one of the 5 amps.
That's amazing.
You know,
Yeah.
It's like voices, you know,
Yeah.
like a voice is so unique to an individual that when you've been in the room for long enough, you know where they are.
And
Yeah.
even all 5 of them going together at the same time, you could hear them perfectly. I mean, the definition coming out of the speakers was so perfect that you could hear them clear. I mean, the mix was perfect.
Yeah.
Yes. There.
That's amazing.
They were crystal clear.
Yeah.
Each single one of them. The bass one, the 3 ones with guitar. The 3 guitars, you could hear them perfectly. You know, it was not just like one club of distortion. They were completely different, sounding perfectly clear. 1 bass and 1 violin.
Yeah.
You know, and you could hear all those 5 instruments. Perfect.
Yep. And the sound guy was super happy.
Yeah.
The sound guy was like, "Thank you for making shit sound awesome that I don't have to,
All I gotta do
fix.
is
All I
write
gotta
a
do
fader.
is get the gain and turn it up."
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So yeah, that's how I first got together with them. You know, and that's how I met you. Also,
Was it there at Joshua Tree?
yeah, it was at Joshua Tree.
Why the hell did they fly me out there? Dave Ketching.
Dave Ketch's birthday bash.
Yep. They came through here. I don't know why. I guess not with you, but I met Rick and somebody.
It
Might have been
probably
Key.
Brian.
Or maybe Rick and Brian.
Yeah.
They came through and they brought us some amps and we listened to them. We're like, wow, those are amazing. And then we went out to eat, and while we were having dinner, he said, "You ever heard of Rancho de la Luna?" And I went, "Yeah, Dave Ketching."
Huh.
And he goes, "You know him?" I go, "No, but my friends are friends with him. I think they're in a band together." And he's like, "No way." And he texts Dave, and Dave goes, "Yeah, I'm in a band with his friends." And so next thing you know, he's like, "I got to come out to the birthday bash." And, yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, so that's how I got together with the Confidence.
Crazy how the universe works.
Yeah.
And then I'm here. I got buried at Rancho de la Luna
Oh, that's right.
Exactly.
by you.
Even weirder.
And we met at an SSL event that you found out too that the SSL that you have is the first one ever made and then the last one ever
It's just
made.
some weird checking shit out karma for
And we're in the room recording the podcast.
that the SSL is sitting in.
Yep.
No, yeah, whole nother podcast coming up.
Yeah.
When we met SSL was demoing their new, what do they call it? The Origin,
Yeah.
the new console. And their guy Phil was explaining it to me, and I was checking it out, going, "This is cool." And I said, "I have number 11." And he's like, "There's no number 11." And I go, "Well, I hear serial number 11." He goes, "No, I have all the serial numbers." He's like, "Let's go look. I have a list." And he has literally like a PDF of a handwritten document, SSL number 1, written on a line by hand, how many channels, where the date it was delivered, and where it went. So we go down the list, and number 11 is the one that went to the studio in Canada. 40 channel 4000 series E. And that's the one that we got from Toronto. But it also happens to be the first 4000 ever made, the prototype for the 4000s. And then the console that I just replaced it with, I still have number 11, by the way. I'm going to restore it, but
Isn't it right?
it's right behind us. Yeah. Or right in front of us, I should say. But that console happened to be built by Phil, the same guy, in 2003, I think he said. And he goes, it was the very last 4000 ever made. So by chance, I ended up with the first 4000 and the last 4000 ever made. So that's a whole nother check this shit out.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's another talking shit.
Random.
But on that note, thank you, Tiago, for joining us.
Thank you for having,
Let's go.
Thanks to Rick from Valhalla for allowing us the time to do this and all this.
And all the good amps. Yeah.
For, and just the vision of the company. It's something we believe in. It's something we want to support.
Yep.
and we're glad to have these in the studio.
Absolutely.
And hopefully more and more people will be able to try them out here at the studio,
Yes.
during the sessions, because they're going to be available here. So
I would say that since the 20 and the 50 have been around, one or the other have been used on every session that someone has played guitar on.
Yeah.
And a lot of kids come in with their rig and all that, and we're like, "That's like,
That's cute.
would you just try
That's
it?
cute.
Would you just give it a go?" The other day, one of the guys, we were doing a live thing, a birthday party for somebody, but they had a full band, and the kid just ran through my stash to grab whatever he wanted to grab, and he was using the rectifier, the dual rectifier, and I was like, "Hey man, I got this other thing. You might want to try it. I think something's wrong with one of the channels on the dual rectifier anyway," which is true. I think something was squirrely. So I said, since it's a live thing, so you don't take any chances, let me grab you. I grabbed him the 50. And 10 minutes later, I was walking by and he was just like, "Fuck yeah, dude." Like,
yeah,
so, and uniquely, he was using it at very low volumes. He was on a stage with a bunch of people, so he couldn't be interfering with the keyboard. The horn section was right in front of him almost. So, it was and it sounded amazing, super driven and crunchy, but surprisingly low stage level. So it was easy to wrangle.
Yeah.
Anyway, love the stuff.
Again,
Yeah.
when I play music home,
At home.
Yeah. Like you were saying,
Yeah,
like
it's
bedroom levels.
literally bedroom level through a Yilton 100.
Okay. I got an experiment. Let's see if I can do that in my bedroom while my wife is sleeping next to me and I can have the amp crank.
Which she's probably calling you again. So we're going to
Okay,
wrap
we're
up
gonna
this
go.
podcast right here. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. This is going to be distributed on all podcast listening platforms. So make sure to check us out on other social media. Check out Valhalla Amplification as well.
Yes.
And we'll catch you guys on the next one. Thank you, Tiago.
Thanks for talking shit.
Bye.
Talking chit, just talking. Talking chit, chit, what are they doing? You never really know, but I'm into it. There.
Talking Chit.